Almost there.
We're going to begin with Hine Matov.
Good evening, everyone. Still Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our Selichot service. And once again, this year, we are dedicating the whole experience of Selichot to the healing process. And as you will see, the healing that we are talking about here is a spiritual healing, an emotional healing, and why not, a physical healing. But before we dive into our service, I would like to welcome all of you here who came in person to the Berney Theatre at the Asper Jewish Community Center here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone at home. Thank you so much for tuning in. And welcome to this amazing team that we have here this evening to lead us and to guide us into this process. So I would like to welcome our Chazan, Leslie Emery.
Shabbat Shalom, and welcome here this evening, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. And we welcome our violinist. Where is she? Carrie Nagy. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Great to have you. And, of course, the one and only Jay Stoller, everybody's favorite drummer, is here also helping us to lead us into this experience of Selichot. So before we start, I would like to tell you something about the importance of Selichot. I guess that all of you who came here, you understand that Selichot is a very important part of the experience of the High Holidays. But not everybody understands that. Not everybody understands the immense power that we have for the Selichot service. And somebody explained it to me this way. You have to imagine a person living in a faraway village with no running water and no basic utilities that we will find in the city. But one day he travels to a city and he discovered the running water. So I said, how does it work? I said, well, you come here to the top and you just open it and you see the water is flowing from there. I said, that is amazing. I want to take it with me. So he gets one of that. He goes back to his village, put it down, and then he said, everybody come here. We have finally running water. And I said, okay, so show us. So he opens it and nothing happened. There is no water. Why not? Because it was not connected to the source. It was not connected to this running water. It was not connected to the pipe that went all the way to the water. So this is what happened. Sometimes when we go into the High Holidays, we have all the prayers. We know them all. We've been singing them forever. We have the prayer book. We know what to read. But Selichot is the missing piece that is going to connect us to the source of water that is God. It's going to connect us to the source of healing, to the source of to the source of inspiration during the High Holidays. And that is the amazing thing about Selichot. It's also like if somebody gives you the key to the inner chamber of the king, but that person forgets to give you the key to the front door. That's what happened when we arrived to Rosh Hashanah without experiencing Selichot. It's like we come to the inner chamber, but we cannot cross the front door. Selichot is the front door of the High Holidays, and Selichot is the missing piece to help us connect to the immense power of God. So I hope you enjoy this experience, and I hope you can feel the inspiration that comes from this service. So we are going to begin with the order of Selichot. I hope you have the guide. I'm going to refer to the page number 2. And this is part of the traditional service of Selichot. We're going to sing Haneshama Lach. The soul is yours. The soul belongs to God. The body is your creation. Lord, have compassion upon your handiwork. And I have a story for all of us to get into the spirit of Selichot. Rabbi Kalonimus Kalman Shapira of Piaseczno was a great Hasidic leader who found himself trapped in the Warsaw ghetto during the early years of the Holocaust. During his time there, despite the horrific and ever-worsening conditions, Rabbi Shapira regularly delivered inspiring Divrei Torah and sermons, boosting the faith of the faithful and encouraging hope among the hopeless. All along, he carefully recorded the sermons on scraps of paper in the hope that one day they will be rescued and they will be published. Eventually, it became evident that the end was near. And Rabbi Shapira gave the manuscript material to the Polish Jewish historian Immanuel Rickelblum, who created the Warsaw Ghetto Oneg Shabbat archives, a bunch of tin canisters that contained a comprehensive assortment of ghetto-related documents which were buried underground before the final deportations. The canisters were discovered in 1946 during Warsaw's reconstruction, long after all the ghetto inhabitants had been murdered by the Nazis. Among the countless documents in the archives was the Piaseczno Rebbe's manuscript, and it eventually found its way into the hands of one of Israel's more dynamic religious Zionist activists, Baruch Duvdevani, who published the sermons under the title Eish Kodesh, Sacred Fire, in 1956. This book remains one of the most powerful religious documents to emerge from the darkest depths of the Holocaust, a testament to maintaining one's faith in the midst of cruelty and crisis. Before the Second World War, Rabbi Shapira was best known as a master educator. He had presided over a yeshiva of pre-bar mitzvah boys and would proudly say, with a twinkle in his eyes, that he was unlike any other Rebbe in Poland. He said, "My Hasidim all eat on Yom Kippur." Remember, they were little kids, right? They all eat on Yom Kippur, and he will continue. You know why? Because they are not obligated to fast. Thousands of children attended his yeshiva over the years, but all remnants of his sect were killed during the Holocaust, and very few of his followers survived. After Rabbi Shlomo Karlebach read Eish Kodesh, he became obsessed with meeting one of the boys who has studied at the Piaseczno Rebbe's yeshiva, but despite his efforts to locate them, it seemed that they had all been killed. But one day, in the early 1970s, he was walking down Rehov Hayarkon in Tel Aviv and noticed a hunchbacked street cleaner sweeping the sidewalk. Rabbi Karlebach was always drawn to people on the fringes in his desire to lift their spirits, and he greeted the street cleaner. The man answered him in a Polish, Yiddish, accented Hebrew. "Where are you from?" Rabbi Karlebach asked. "I am from Piaseczno." "Really? Piaseczno? Did you know the Holy Rebbe, Rabbi Kalonimus Kalman?" "Of course," said the man. "I studied at his yeshiva from the age of 5 until I was 11. The street cleaner leaned on his broom. He had a faraway look in his eyes. That was when the Nazis took me to Auschwitz. When I was 11, I was very tall for my age. They thought I was 17. I was very strong, but I didn't always follow orders. I will get terrible beatings. That's why I look this way. I always recovered, but the damage from Auschwitz is permanent. Look at me now. My body is a wreck. And now I have nobody in the whole world. Everyone in my family was killed. No one would marry me, and I have no children. That's my life. Rabbi Karlebach was stunned. I've always wanted to meet one of Rev. Kalonimus Kalman's students. Please, I'm begging you, do me this kindness. Can you tell me one of the teachings that the Rebbe taught you in yeshiva? The hunched street cleaner began sweeping again. Do you really think that after 5 years in Auschwitz, I remember any teachings? He gave a hollow laugh. Rabbi Karlebach was undeterred. Yes, I do think so. The words of such a holy man never disappear. They penetrate you forever. The man stopped sweeping and looked at Rabbi Karlebach. A deep, penetrating gaze. Do you really want to know? He asked. Yes, said Rabbi Karlebach. And I promise with all my heart that whatever you tell me, I will repeat all over the world. And so, this is what the street cleaner from Piaseczno told Rabbi Karlebach in Tel Aviv that day. There will never be a Shabbos like the ones we had with the Rebbe in Piaseczno. All the Kabbalat Shabbat prayers, hundreds and sometimes thousands of children were dancing around the Rebbe, who stood beaming like a king at the center of all circles. The Rebbe made Kiddush, and we all hummed with him. The amens were incredible. Throughout the meal, he will teach Torah, and he will always say, Kinderlach, teure Kinderlach, my most precious children, always remember and never forget, the greatest thing in the world is to do someone else a favor. By the time I arrived at Auschwitz, my whole family was dead, and I wanted to kill myself. But each time I was about to do the deed, I will hear the Rebbe's voice. Always remember and never forget, the greatest thing in the world is to do someone else a favor. Do you know how many favors you can do in Auschwitz? With people dying all around you, people crying beyond despair. Most of the inmates who had any strength were just concerned for themselves. But I stayed up all night, comforting people, finding scraps of food for the weakest, trying to cheer people up. And whenever I wanted to end it all, suddenly I will hear my Rebbe's voice again. Even here in Tel Aviv, I'm all alone. There are moments when I'm ready to finish myself off. One time I went into the sea up to my nose in the water, but there was the Rebbe's voice again. I can always find someone to help. And that's what I do. I'm still doing favors. I'm still alive. I'm still a student of my Rebbe. I'm still a good Jew. The street cleaner patted Rabbi Karlebach on the shoulder. My friend, that's the teaching. Always remember and never forget. The greatest thing in the world is to do someone else a favor. And with that, he picked up his broom and went back to his sweeping. This encounter took place just before Rosh Hashanah. After Sukkot, Rabbi Karlebach came back to Refuah Yarkon in Tel Aviv to look for a street cleaner, but he was gone. Apparently, he died suddenly on the second day of Sukkot. Rabbi Karlebach stayed true to his word and repeated the teaching of the Piaseczno Rebbe at countless concerts and gatherings. The message of the Holy Hunchback, as Rabbi Karlebach called him, had to live on. Always remember, never forget, the greatest thing in the world is to do someone else a favor. Or, to put it more bluntly, your relationship with God must always be preceded by kindness and consideration for others. Otherwise, life is simply not worth living.
הנשמה לך והגוף פועלך חוסה חוסה המלך הנשמה לך והגוף פועלך חוסה חוסה המלך הנשמה לך והגוף פועלך חוסה חוסה המלך.
And we are going to continue now, the bottom of page 2. I would like to invite everyone to rise. This is a very important prayer. In fact, what most people don't know is that the whole Selichot service was built around this next prayer, Adonai, Adonai. This is the recitation of the, we call it the 13 principles of kindness of God. There are so many, this prayer encapsulates every single aspect of kindness that God give us every single day, something for us to absorb and to share with others. Adonai, Adonai, bottom of page 2.
Adonai, Adonai, Elcharum Bechanun, Erech Chaim V'Rat Chesed V'Emet, Notzeh Chesed La'anachim, Noseh Avon Ta'Pesha V'Chata
וסלחת לעווננו ולחטאתנו And you may be seated. As we are ready now to proceed with the first song of healing of this evening, we are going to have different versions of the Misha Beirach along the evening to represent that there are different aspects of our life that need healing. Sometimes people come to synagogue hoping for emotional healing. Some people come to synagogue or pray to God hoping for physical healing. Some people are praying for healing for the world so we can have peace. And because there are different aspects to the concept of healing, we decided to have different versions of the Misha Beirach to represent that. So the first one could be found page 3, top of the page. Beautiful version composed by Craig Taubman.
Misha Beirach,
And we are going to continue with the order of the Selichot. The next one is one of our pleas to God, asking God to hear our prayers. During the service of Selichot, in fact, many times during the high holidays, we are going to encounter the same principle repeated in different ways. Our hope that God is listening to our prayers. And sometimes it's almost like we are not sure. So we are begging God to listen to our prayers as if God would not listening. And this is coming from the concept of sometimes we accumulate what we call spiritual impurities, that what they do is to separate ourselves from God. And if we keep accumulating these spiritual impurities, then it's almost like, and I know talking about distance with God is kind of an impossible concept because God doesn't have space, but we have to kind of imagine that every time we accumulate such impurity, we are taking distance from God. And I don't know if it ever happens to you that if you have a person next to you, just a whisper will be enough for you to be understood. But if you start taking distance for a person, then it's more and more difficult for you to be understood. Or sometimes, I know it's almost different kind of impurities could also prevent our own hearing, to the point that sometimes we have to take, to search professional help to clean our ears so we could hear again, right? So it's kind of the same concept. It's not that God is not listening to us, it's that we accept our fault in taking distance from such relationship. And when we ask God to please, God, accept or listen to our prayers, what we are saying there really is that we are doing our best. We will do our best to rebuild that relationship. And we will do our best to try to clean up all the spiritual impurity that we've been accumulating during the year. So we have the bottom of page 3, Lishmoa. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, The Shabbat has ended, night has come. We approach you with earnest plea. Oh, you who dwell in the heavens above, bend low and hear our hymn of praise. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. Remember Isaac, bound for an offering, in whose stead the ram was slain. Shield his descendants, praying this night, kindle your power, come to their aid. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. Lishmoa, 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 Elarina, Lishmoa, Lishmoa, Ve'el Atfilah. And we are going to continue with the concept of asking God to listen to our prayers. The next one is even more explicit in the name of the prayer. It's called Shema Koleinu. Listen to our voice. But I was also thinking that Sometimes when you want to rebuild a relationship, one of the first things that you promise, I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, right? When you need to repair a relationship, that it was your fault. Now you're asking forgiveness, you're trying to make it better, but the commitment is to start reciprocating, right? It's not a one-way thing, but it's a two-way thing now. That's why it's a relationship. So if we are asking God to listen to our voice, at the same time, we have to make the commitment to start listening to God's voice as well. Shema Koleinu, page 4.
Shema Koleinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem, Chus v'rachem aleinu. Shema Koleinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem, Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Shiveinu Adonai Elecha, Adonai Elecha, v'nashuva. Shiveinu Adonai Elecha, Adonai Elecha, v'nashuva. And in the middle of page 4, we have another beautiful prayer. This is something that sometimes play to our fears. The fear that because of what we did or because of what we didn't do, God is taking distance from us. So we are basically begging God, please don't push us away. Give us a chance. I'm just here in front of you trying to repair the relationship. So please, don't push us away. I'm sincere. I promise that I will do to the best of my capacity. I will do whatever I can to repair this broken relationship. Al Tashlichenu, middle of page 4.
תשליכנו מלפניך, אל תשליכנו מלפניך, ברוח קודשך, ברוח קודשך, אל תיקח ממנו,
אל תשליכנו מלפניך, אל תשליכנו מלפניך, ברוח קודשך, ברוח קודשך, אל תיקח ממנו.
אל תעזבנו, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אלוהינו.
And it's time for our second prayer of healing. We're on the bottom of page 4. And try to concentrate in different aspects of healing, as I mentioned before. If during the first chant of healing, you were thinking of someone who is going through some physical illness, this time maybe try to think of someone who is going through some emotional distress and need emotional healing. And vice versa. If the first time your kavanah was in someone who needed emotional healing, this time think of someone who needs physical healing. Or maybe think in the largest world that also need a different kind of healing. It's your prayer, your way. Bottom of page 4, the second chant of healing composed by Rabbi Baruch Levin. Avinu Malkeinu Shalach Refuah Shleima Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Lecholei HaMekach Avinu Malkeinu Shlach Refuah Shleima Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Lecholei Amecha We're going to continue now on page 5. And this is another time that I would ask you to rise, if you can. This is when we read our list of avirot, of transgression. This is symbolic, but it's supposed to represent every single possibility that went wrong during the year. I know it's impossible to name them all and to finish at a decent time, right? So the rabbis selected a few of them that it goes in alphabetical order. So the idea is because we cover all the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, we are covering every possible mistake that we made during the year. And the tradition is to hit our heart, to beat our hearts when we mention each one of these. Why is that? According to the rabbis, the heart is what pushed us to do wrong. You see, we knew that it was wrong. But We follow our impulses, our urges. I don't know, something pushed me to do it. I knew I shouldn't. I did it anyway, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to confess our aveirot, our transgression, and again, once again, to try to do it better next time. Page 5, the Asham. Oh, sorry.
Ay, 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 Hashamnu,
Hashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadnu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Dibarnu Dofi,
Dibarnu Dofi.
ay, 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 Hevinu,
Hevinu,
Vehirshanu,
Veirshanu,
Zadnu,
Zadnu,
Chamasnu,
Kamasnu,
Tafanu Sheker,
Nafalnu Sheker.
ay, 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 Yatnura,
Yatznura,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Latnu,
Latznu,
Maradnu,
Maradnu,
Nihatnu,
Niatznu,
Sararnu,
Saranu,
Avinu,
Avinu,
Hashanu,
Ashanu,
Sararnu,
Sararnu,
Kishinu Oreh,
Kishinu Oref.
ay, 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 Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shichatnu,
Shikhatnu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Tahinu,
Tainu,
Titanu,
Titanu. We abuse, we betray, we are cruel, we destroy, we embitter, we falsify, we gossip, we hate, we insult, we jeer, we kill, we lie, we mock, we neglect, we oppress, we pervert, we quarrel, we rebel, we steal, we transgress, we are unkind, we are violent, we are wicked, we are xenophobic, we yield to evil, we are zealots for bad causes. You may be seated. As we are going to continue now at the bottom of page 5 with our next chant of healing composed by Debbie Friedman.
Mishe Berach
And before we continue with the next song, which is the one that wraps it all, I will explain about that in a minute. We decided to add something different this year. And as I mentioned before, there are different kind of healings that we hope. Personal healings, community healings, world healing. But also there is a different kind of healing that sometimes we need to add to our prayers. That is the healing for the planet where we all live. So I will ask Kazan Leslie to explain the next part of the service.
Well, we are living through strange times, and so I offer this prayer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who created our world and saw that it was tov me'od, very good. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who said, let there be light. You separated the day from night. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who separated the heavens from the waters upon the earth, both of them blue and beautiful, clean and bright. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who separated the waters of the earth from the dry land, so that grasses, herbs, and fruit trees could grow on the land and be watered by the rain. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who organized the heavens, who set the sun and moon in their appointed places, and set all in harmonious motion. You set in motion the cycle of years and months and days, the orderly seasons which allow all living things to thrive. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who filled the water with swarms of living creatures and set flocks of birds flying in the air. You told them to be fruitful and multiply, and they have done so. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after its kind. The earth was filled with living things of all descriptions, which live according to the laws of nature, and again you declared that it was good. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who has put human beings in the midst of these wonders, the heavens and the earth, the sea and her treasures, the earth and its bounty. Give us wisdom to use your gifts with care, so that all may thrive. Give us intelligence to look for solutions when things fall out of balance. Guide us when we have been unwise. Help us when we seek new answers. Give us the courage to admit when something has gone wrong and to seek a remedy rather than seek someone to blame. For all the world is yours, O God. All the world is of your making. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who saw the world and said, behold, it is very good. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. I was thinking the other day, you know what is the best miracle? The one that is not needed. And I realized that sometimes we look around the world and we pray for a miracle. Why? Because we didn't take care of it. Same happened with our lives. We mess up, then we need a miracle. So the best miracle is the one that is not needed. And it's up to us to learn the lesson, to change our behavior. So hopefully in the future we won't need to pray for a miracle. We will make it happen ourselves. So it's time to wrap up with this Selichot service. Hopefully you got something out of it. But the final prayer before the Havdalah is part of the Adon Olam. It's the hymn that we usually use to close the service, but it's just two lines of the Adon Olam. בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן והעירה, ועם רוחי גבייתי אדוני לי ולא יירא. My soul I give to you, Adonai. My spirit is in your care. Draw me near, and I shall not fear, because I will feel safe in your hand. What a beautiful feeling to feel safe, because we know that God has us in the palm of his hand. Let's sing together, page 6, Beyado. Beyado הפקיד רוחי בעת תישן והעירה ואם רוחי גוויעתי אדוני לי ולא ידע ואם רוחי גוויעתי אדוני לי ולא ידע.
My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your
And we have two more things to do. We're going to do the Havdalah, and then we're going to end the service after the Havdalah with a wonderful sound of the shofar. Cousin Leslie is going to take all the Havdalah things that we have ready. You need help? You have everything?
I do.
You do?
Thank you. I'd like to invite Dr. Rena Sector-Albaz, our Executive Director, to hold our Havdalah candle bright for our congregation this evening. Thank you for leading us all in Havdalah right through the year, Rena, so beautifully. Hine el Yeshuati
A wonderful week, a wonderful year ahead. Shana Tova Umetuka. I would like to invite everyone to rise as we conclude with our service with the sound of the shofar. Thank you to Bill Weisman, our Shemesh Emeritus, for leading the way of how the shofar should sound.
Rabbi, if I may, as you probably know, most of the shofar blowers watch each other prior to high holidays.
Oh, here. I'm going to help you.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You can? Okay,
Yeah.
it is on.
Yeah, but they can.
It's not going to the front of the house, Marlon.
No, it's not. Hello? Here we are. Good. So I was saying, as the rabbi probably knows, most of the shofar sounders, we watch each other prior to high holidays to pick up little hints. And this year, for the first time in my time, one of them said something that really resonated with me and resonates with this particular service. Leslie has heard me say this throughout the month that I was blowing services. One of the shofar sounders said that the sound of the shofar is really the basic or a basic healing sound. And did that resonate with me? The next time I blow shofar in the morning, I mentioned that right before the Mishnah prayer. This entire service tonight was dedicated to healing. So may the sound of the shofar touch all the different healing aspects that Rabbi described tonight and more.
Amen.
Let us, thank you, let us all come to this next year as healthy as we possibly can.
Amen.
Yasher Koach.
Shana Tova u'metuka, everyone. Thank you
Shana
for coming.
Tova.
Please join us for refreshment.
I didn't want to blow you away.
Thank you, everyone, for this amazing team. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Anibal, and thank you all for being here this evening. Shana Tova Umetuka.